Hello students, I'm Mia. Today I'm going to discuss the lesson 8, opportunities, challenges, and power of media and information.
Anything that goes viral on the internet becomes an instant, trending, and political topic. These are the concrete examples of how media can influence the economy, education, society, and politics. In economy, in the past, people had to personally monitor the stock market. However, nowadays, they can monitor their investments in real time by logging in at the website of the stock exchange. For businessmen who are always busy and on the go, they use their mobile phones to get in touch with their stockbrokers and instruct them whether they want to buy or sell their stocks. With various social media like Twitter and Facebook, a businessman can easily receive notifications about local and global news which could affect his investment. In addition, more companies are now putting up websites to get more clients. And nowadays, there is an influx of business process outsourcing or BPO companies which are responsible for providing technical support and customer service agents, medical transcriptionists, marketing and real estate agents, and many others. Now, how media influence the education? There are different ways in how teachers can use modern technology in presenting their lessons to students. Gone are the days when they do not have any other choice but to manually make their visual aids in order to impart knowledge to their pupils. The following are some examples of modern visual aids that can be used by lecturers all over the world. An example of visual aid is the bucket chart, which teachers often use when discussing lessons to young learners in order to catch their interest. However, some teachers who have very limited resources only need to have a piece of chalk, a blackboard, and a manila paper in order to aid them in conducting their lessons. There are also educational toys that suit different subject areas. With their vibrant colors and artistic designs, these educational materials have become an effective way in instructing the learners as they allow them to engage themselves with the subjects being taught. These objects also help students learn faster as they get to apply the concepts learned in the classroom while they operate these items. In addition, there are sites available in the internet which allow teachers, students, and parents to interact with one another for the purpose of learning. For example, the website www.edmodo.com gives users an opportunity to discuss about their school concerns without having to meet in person. Some websites can also be used to find reliable supplementary learning materials such as www.googleclassroom.com. This website holds a portal of notes and quizzes about subjects covered in school. In society, we have mass media, may it be in print, broadcast, or the internet, have become very powerful tools in influencing people's perception on certain things like beauty. Due to TV commercials and print advertisements, many people tend to base their perception of beauty on a person's physical looks instead of his talents and intrinsic qualities. This is the reason behind the increase in the sales of products and services endorsed by famous celebrities, even though they are expensive and their quality is not yet proven effective. As most people have the hobby of watching TV programs, the things they regularly see have somehow influenced their values and behaviors. For example, a child who sees violent TV shows on a regular basis might become a troublemaker at school because he might perceive violence as something acceptable. Moreover, teenagers might believe that engaging in a serious romantic relationship and neglecting their studies are agreeable because teenage love is usually portrayed in most dramas on TV. Therefore, with media being a very powerful means to send and receive messages, the people must be more careful in choosing the kind of media to patronize, so that their values and standards will not be compromised. Now let's proceed with the politics. How media influence the politics. The power of media and information is strong and wide enough to reach all people from different fields. As a matter of fact, citizens who have internet connection can easily have access to the latest local and national news wherever they are. Local officials even use media in informing their constituents about the upcoming projects which would be beneficial for their community. As information has become easily accessible using the internet, the profiles and other intimate personal details about a public servant or a political leader can be easily leaked and shared online. While these pieces of information can help citizens assess the kind of leader they should vote for, this can also violate these politicians' privacy. In the past, when people wanted to express their dismay over a political or a social issue, they had to wait for months for it to be resolved. Now that different media platforms are available, ordinary citizens can use their social media accounts to appeal to government authorities regarding the problems in their locality, like crimes and road reconstructions. With the media's power and influence, they are now able to voice out their complaints and get immediate attention, public support, and help. Now let's proceed with the threats and risk from the abuse and misuse of media and information. The Article 3 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution is about the Bill of Rights. Section 4 specifically states that no law shall be passed abridging the freedom of speech, of expression, or of the press, or of the right of people peaceable to assemble and petition the government for redress of grievances. This means that as a democratic country, all citizens are entitled to freedom of expression and the state ought to protect that constitutional right. Due to this, we are free to express our ideas and beliefs through writing, speaking, or demonstration without any fear of being sued. Despite of this, we should never abuse and misuse our freedom of speech. We also need to take into consideration the rights and feelings of other people. Thus, freedom of expression does not give us the permission to hurt others because that is a violation of the rights as well. For further details, the following are some laws against the abuse and misuse of media and information which violate the rights of others and threaten them in some ways. First is libel. A person commits libel if he publishes in public, either in print or online, anything that is deemed malicious of a vice or defect, real or imaginary, or any act, omission, condition, status, or circumstance tending to cause the dishonor, discredit, or contempt of a natural or juridical person or to blacken the memory of one who is dead. In the Philippine Constitution, libel is a violation of Article 355 of the Revised Penal Code. As stated in this article, libel can be committed in writing, printing, and other similar means. Now, question. Would a person be accused of libel if he posted an angry comment about the heavy traffic on social media? According to the doctrine of fair comment, a citizen is entitled to express his views and opinions on public affairs. The doctrine of fair comment, which is based on the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, grants a form of qualified privilege applied to news media publications when discussing issues for the legitimate concern of the public. The journalist's commentary would not be considered libelous if the comment is about the work and not directed to a specific person whose reputation can be damaged because of a certain post. In addition, the writing should arise from an honest opinion, be free from malice, and aim to serve the public interest. Now, what is the difference of slander and libel? Slander, according to Article 358 of the Revised Penal Code, slander refers to a malicious act of spreading untrue statements about someone or something else in a way that is intended to cause harm. Calling someone names or saying derogatory remarks about a person is considered slanderous. For example, if a TV host gives a false statement damaging to the guest's reputation, he will be found guilty of slander. Like libel, it is considered offensive and damaging to someone's character. Therefore, it is also punishable by law. Libel and slander laws also constitute policies against misquotation and mislabeling. First, misquotation. It refers to quoting someone for having said something, but without using the exact words spoken. Misquotation can also mean quoting someone for something he did not say. This can happen when a celebrity or a famous personality was quoted for saying a particular statement, but later claimed that he did not actually say the same lines that were reported. When a person is quoted, it means that he stated the exact words in front of the interviewer. Sometimes, misquotation takes place if the one transcribing the interview did not write down the words uttered verbatim or word per word. When some words are deliberately or carelessly omitted, the message could change. Also, a reporter might paraphrase the quoted words of the interviewee in order to shorten it or to imply a different meaning. In this event, it can distort the original message and affect its context without the interviewer's knowledge. Therefore, reporters should observe diligence to provide accurate information and avoid misquotation. A person who commits misquotation can either be charged with libel under Article 355 of the Revised Penal Code or slander under Article 358 of the Revised Penal Code. Next is mislabeling. Whether it is done deliberately or unintentionally, mislabeling a person or organization can be considered misleading, hurtful, and damaging. A person guilty of mislabeling violates one's honor under Title 13, Crime Against Honor of the Revised Penal Code. For example, if an unknown new school has been described as a fly-by-night in a newspaper, it can be deemed as improper labeling. Fly-by-night is an idiomatic expression which means unreliable or untrustworthy. Thus, labeling the school as a fly-by-night could put the school's credibility at stake. Moreover, an old actress labeled as a falling star in a celebrity magazine could be offensive to the actress. Even if it is just an opinion, it could affect the actress' reputation. Mislabeling, if done in writing, is a form of libel and is slanderous if it is expressed verbally. A person accused of mislabeling will be charged according to Article 353 of the Revised Penal Code under the definition of libel as it causes dishonor or discredit to one's reputation. Next, anti-obscenity law. According to Article 201 of the Revised Penal Code, as amended by PD number 960, a material would be a violation to the anti-obscenity law if it includes immoral doctrines, obscene publication or exhibitions, and indecent shows, materials that have content glorifying criminals or condoning their crimes, promotes violence, lust or pornography, offense a race or religion, promotes the use of prohibited drugs, and encourages acts contrary to law, public order, morals, good customs, established policies, lawful orders, decrees, and edicts also violate the anti-obscenity law. Now, question. Put a poster from the Department of Health or DOH showing a mother breastfeeding her baby, a violation of the anti-obscenity law. The poster is an information awareness campaign and not intended for lust or pornography. Therefore, it does not violate the anti-obscenity law. Sedition pertains to subversive acts such as rebellion and insurrection, which incite people to go against the government and resist its lawful authority and jurisdiction. According to Article 138 of the Revised Penal Code, any person who is found to be inciting a rebellion shall be penalized because this will endanger the security, safety, and stability of the state. During the American period in the Philippines, the Sedition Act of 1901 was first passed. Its main purpose was to hinder people from saying anything against the American colonial government. The people who were charged with sedition at the time were arrested and imprisoned, exiled, or executed. Contempt of court. As explained in Section 1, Rule 71 of the Rules of Court, contempt of court refers to the disobedience to the court where a person exhibited acts opposing the court's authority, justice, and dignity. For example, a journalist can be accused of contempt of court if a material he published impedes the administration of justice as the case is still pending, which then can affect the magistrate's decision or solicit unfair opinion about the court. Another example is if a newspaper reports that the Supreme Court is biased and incompetent in giving its final verdict for a celebrated case, its writer and publisher could get a contempt from court. Now let's proceed with the piracy. What is piracy? Some people buy pirated copies of albums and films instead of purchasing the original ones because those are cheaper and more practical for them. However, piracy is considered illegal under the Philippine law. Piracy is the unauthorized distribution and reproduction of copyrighted material. It is also a violation of the Anti-Concording Act of 2010 or Republic Act 108888. Under the Anti-Concording Act of 2010, it prohibits and penalizes the unauthorized use, possession, and/or control of audiovisual recording devices for the unauthorized recording of cinematographic films and other audiovisual works and/or their soundtracks in an exhibition facility, providing penalties, therefore, and for other purposes. Just like plagiarism, piracy is a form of stealing because it robs the producers and artists of the compensation that they deserve based on the sales of their product. Though original copies are usually expensive due to the high cost of production and professional fees, buying original CDs can show one's support and appreciation for their favorite artist. In addition, producers will be able to make better music and films from the profit earned on the sales of original CDs. Although pirated CDs can be sold in a cheap price, its quality cannot be guaranteed. Downloading music and sharing movie copies online are also forms of piracy. Although one may think that downloading for free is not a big deal, the user's computer can be vulnerable to virus or malware once the material has been downloaded.
That's all for today. I hope that you've learned something. See you on the next lesson. Bye!
Happy learning at home with lessons made easy by Olivarian GoTeach. One proud Olivarian.